Kyle, you're behind barbecue, and on today's video, we're gonna make a massive smoked pastrami sandwich. All right, so to start off, to make our killer pastrami sandwich, our massive pastrami sandwich, I got some pastrami straight from the grocery store. I didn't feel like brining a brisket. I didn't feel like doing any of that. I'm gonna do what people do at home, and I'm just gonna buy one. So I'll pull it out of the package. I will set her down. Got my handy dandy paper towels here. And I'm gonna wipe her completely down. All that juice, all that brine. Get all that off there. All right. So on the back side of this, there's some fat, little silver skin and stuff like that. I'm leaving it all because I think fat is flavor. I'm not trimming, well, maybe the little end piece here, I'll cut that off. But other than that, I'm leaving everything. All right, so step one, what I do is we're gonna use our bacon green chili rub. So we're gonna make a green chili bacon pastrami, fat pastrami sandwich. So, seasoning this bad boy up, pat her in. I'm gonna flip it over, do the same thing on the back. Pat that in. Now to give it some color, we're gonna use the Loot & Booty Jolly Roger. It's an all black charcoal rub. It's a jalapeno garlic rub. So, we're gonna just sprinkle a light seasoning of that. Pat her in. We'll do the same thing on the top side. Get a little bit on the sides here. And just like that, that's all I'm gonna do. From there, I am going to fire up my Green Mountain grill. It's a pellet grill. I'm gonna fire up to 325. I'm gonna set it on the top grate. I'm gonna let it roll. I'm gonna let it go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. How I know when this thing's ready to be wrapped, I will tap the top of the pastrami, and if there's no rub that comes off on my finger, she's ready to wrap. So, pretty easy. If you can tap this thing and rub comes off on your finger, let it go. Don't even worry about it. Let it go another 30 minutes, check it again. So now we're gonna go from here, straight onto the grill. It's been 3 hours. I pulled the pastrami off. How I knew it was ready to wrap is I could tap this thing and no rub came off on my finger. So that's how I knew this thing was ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is I got a stick of butter that I cut in half. I'm gonna put one underneath. I'm gonna put one on top. And then I'm gonna wrap it. Wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it tight. Boom, just like that. She's gonna go back on the grill. Got my Green Mountain grill still set at 325, so what I'm gonna do is put it right back on top. Boom, let her roll. So after an hour, I'm gonna let her go for another hour, and then I'm gonna start probing it. What I want it to do is I want it to probe like butter. So I will put room temperature butter out on the counter, and I will poke that butter, and that's exactly what I want this to feel like. So we're gonna give it another hour, and then I'll start probing. All right, so we pulled the pastrami off of the Green Mountain grills. I pulled it right at 206. If you don't have a thermometer, don't worry about it. What I like to do is I'll get a stick of butter out of the fridge and I'll leave it on the counter. I will put my pastrami on, I'll let it go through its process, and once it's wrapped, I will start poking the butter. And once I start poking the butter, I will then start poking the pastrami. And if the pastrami does not feel like that butter, I let it go for another 30 minutes because I want mine very tender. So I did that, I pulled it off. She's rested, I rested her for 10 minutes. So now, next thing to do is we're gonna make a big ass sandwich. All right, she's all, look at that. Boom, baby. This is awesome. Now it's time to build a massive sandwich. All right, so I got my rye bread here. We're gonna lay this out. All right, so I'm gonna throw some mustard down. Gotta have mustard. I'm gonna throw a little bit of sauerkraut down. Throw a little bit down here. Now, we're gonna start building. Build, build, build. Okay, then we're gonna throw some cheese in the center. All right, sandwich is built. All right, so now we're gonna cut this thing in half. Ooh. Cat's Deli ain't got nothing on me. Damn, this is good. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.